bringing you inside the house. I'm going to take and show you the CAD drawing that I'm working on. I probably won't do much more with this CAD drawing unless I have some extra motivation at the end of this, because I just wanted to draw the main part of what I'm doing, and then from there build that, and the rest of it I'll do by the seat of my pants. I don't need to have a CAD drawing to build the doors and all that kind of jazz on here. I just wanted to make sure that the initial firebox and all the heat exchangers and that type of thing were right. And so there's a whole bunch of details on here that I frankly didn't include. It's just, it takes more time to draw it in CAD than it does to make it up. So I don't see any point in drawing everything in CAD when I'm doing this myself. If someone else is really interested, a bunch of people are, I guess I should say, are interested, then maybe I'd finish drawing in CAD. But I'm just doing it this way because this is the material I have. It's built, the size is built around the size of this big extruder paste that I have, and that's how the whole thing is. So, if you were going to build one of these, or if I was going to do this from scratch and go buy metal, I probably wouldn't do it exactly this way. I mean, I would probably do it in this manner, but I would change some dimensions and so on. So it would be a little bit different if I was going to buy all the metal, but I'm a cheapskate, first of all and foremost, and I am not going to go buy metal if I don't have to, when I can get it for free. So, yeah, we'll switch on to the computer here, and then you can see what it is, and I won't be shaking around, okay? Here we go. This is my CAD drawing. I did it in TurboCAD. You're looking at the front of the unit right here. You can see that I've made some of this transparent, so it's easier to see kind of through inside. Let me turn this just a little bit here. Maybe it'll give us a better view. Anyway, you can see the firebox inside here, my door, which will be 18 wide by 22 inches tall. Then from the firebox, there's a slot in the bottom, as is typical with most of these gasification units. The fire burns and then the gases exit through the bottom slot, and there's air injected at the same point to burn off the gas. So I will do the same thing. Mine will be lined with fire brick all throughout in the bottom here. The gasification chamber is at the bottom. So the gases will come down, go through the gasification chamber to the back, and then at the back there's heat exchanger tubes here. They'll go up the heat exchanger tubes, move to the front through a second pass heat exchanger of heat exchanger tubes, come back, then front to back in a third pass in those small tubes there. So it's really got three passes going through heat exchanger tubes. Then as far as water jacketing is concerned, I'm just going to have water jacketing around the top of the unit here and through the heat exchanger tubes, both at the top and back here at the back. I'm not water jacketing around the bottom. I'd rather fire brick this really well and allow it to get hot, to stay hot, and hopefully have a more complete burn. I'm also going to be relying more on having the whole thing really heavily insulated around the whole unit, figuring that it's not going to allow heat to escape if everything is really well insulated. So, like I say, water will actually come down to this point of the triangle and all around the top of the unit here. It's just not going to be around the bottom of the unit. Okay, so the other thing I have going here is I cut I'm going to cut a slot at the base, or I say not base, the back of the unit here. There will be a little flap on that. So when you want to open the door and introduce more firewood, you can open the flap and let it exhaust directly from the back instead of going through the gasification mode, or maybe, at startup you'd probably want to use this and just have the exhaust gases come out directly at the top in the back here. So like I say, there's a ton of things that I haven't drawn on here. Obviously, I haven't drawn how to introduce air into here. I haven't drawn, even where the chimney is going to be. I don't know why my rendering is being so stupid right now, but yeah, that's basically about it. And then let me show you the Excel file real quick. I copied pictures from CAD into Excel, and then I labeled all of my various pieces and listed them here. This is just my way of organizing the pieces and then having a basis for figuring out where the pieces would come from the extruder base that I'm cutting apart. So I've got a whole listing of pieces and their sizes, dimensions, thickness, and so on, and how many they are, and the area of each piece in square inches. And then I've got a total area here. I calculated for how much total area is in half-inch plate and how much total area would be in quarter-inch plate. And I had to do this because I've only got so much half-inch material, and I've got additional quarter-inch material, so I had to figure out, well, okay, I want to make the firebox out of half-inch for sure in the front and back, but some of this other up here I'm going to have to make out of quarter-inch material, which isn't so bad. All the units that I look at, they're all made out of quarter-inch or less, so I'm already doing overkill with half-inch on the firebox. But, yeah, I always figure thicker is better. I like to make it, heavy. So those are my pictures there. And then I have another tab where I figured out metal usage. I actually originally did this in a file on CAD. I drew each part of the extruder base that I was cutting the material out of, and then I took the pieces from the CAD drawing and pasted them on here in various locations to say, okay, this is where I'm going to cut each of the pieces out of, and I just then copied this into Excel and put some labels on it so I could go out there and start cutting pieces without having to think too hard at that point when I got the cutting torch out. So that was my Excel file, basically, and I obviously put links to various things and items that I need and, different things I need to calculate along here. But, yeah, not too much more than that.